The day I had the stroke, I was at work. It was in the afternoon and I was sitting down, I was talking to a client on the phone, and apparently I made some strange noises, and then the young woman who was in the office as well came up and asked whether I was all right. I wasn't aware that anything had happened, so I sort of said yes, I was fine. And then she went and got someone else, and apparently they could see my whole right side had dropped. I felt that everything was right, and I couldn't work out why everyone was fussing about. I got to the hospital and they told me, and then once it dawned on me, it totally changed, and I was extremely upset, very crying all the time. And I remember saying to my friend, we're both big bushwalkers, and I remember saying to her, I don't think I'll ever walk again, and that was my biggest fear at that stage. Everybody thought that I made a miraculous recovery, so no one was really aware of there were any serious issues. I went home to Mum and Dad's after the 4 days in hospital, and I stayed there for 3 weeks. Mum could notice that I was really going downhill in the sense of my mobility wasn't very good. I could tell as well that it was like all my nerve ends were switched on all the time. I was very tight on the right side, and I could also tell that that my memory was not good. Everything that I did, the amount of effort that it took in the brain to work out, I was getting so probably frustrated and unable to deal with my emotions. My sister-in-law came up one Sunday afternoon. She actually was the one that really picked up that I wasn't working very well, and that I was very teary, and she said to me that she felt that I was going through a bit of a depression. And what we did then, she was great, what we did then was she wrote down what we needed to do. Tomorrow morning, ring my doctor, make an appointment, also ring the counsellor that I had known prior, many years before, to see if I could make an appointment. Oh, hi Max, it's Tracey. How are you going? And then I think I started feeling a bit more relieved that things were starting to, I was feeling a bit more in control. When I saw my own doctor, he diagnosed me that I did have, I was having effects of a depression, which was after the stroke, and he really just sort of said to me that most people that go through something like that will have some type of an effect. But he obviously, when you think of it, if he put me on antidepressants straight away, he obviously felt that that was needed. He was good in saying that he felt that I was handling the stroke, having a stroke, very well, and felt that most people would be going through what I would be going through. We sat down and again we wrote down what I needed to do just to protect myself. I had to get up early in the morning, make sure that I got dressed, make sure that I had breakfast, and my little cat had breakfast, and pretty much for the next 6 months, that was pretty much all I did. I lost everything, and so I knew that had happened, and I knew that it was going to be very difficult to get out of it. Also at that stage, with having the stroke, it was like my mind was in a bit of a fog. It dictated what I could say, how I could talk. It also told me when I'd had enough. What was very important, I guess, with the depression was to actually do the sensible, practical things that could help. There is a grieving process, and I think it happens in multi-levels. You go through different emotions. You go through the denial, through the frustration, the anger, and then all of a sudden it hits you. You go through all these different emotions, and those things I really feel someone who's had a stroke needs to go through with the depression to actually come out on top of it. Would have been middle of last year. That was when I stopped fighting it. It's not a matter of going back to my normal self, because that just won't happen. But once you accept it, you're much happier, and you can then make a new life for your own.